Government exists to protect us from each other. Where government has gone beyond its limits is in deciding to protect us from ourselves. I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be one nation gone under. Within the covers of the Bible are the answers for all the problems men face. There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. Christmas can be celebrated in the schoolroom with pine trees, tinsel and reindeers, but there must be no mention of the man whose birthday is being celebrated. One wonders how a teacher would answer if a student asked why it was called Christmas. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. And how do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin. Republicans believe every day is the 4th of July, but the Democrats believe every day is April 15th. Sometimes when I'm faced with an atheist, I am tempted to invite him to the greatest gourmet dinner that one could ever serve, and when we have finished eating that magnificent dinner, to ask him if he believes there's a cook. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans. We don't have $1 trillion debt because we haven't taxed enough, we have $1 trillion debt because we spend too much. We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. A nation that cannot control its borders is not a nation. I know in my heart that man is good, that what is right will always eventually triumph, and there is purpose and worth to each and every life. Heroes may not be braver than anyone else. They're just braver 5 minutes longer. I've heard that hard work never killed anyone, but I say, why take the chance? Government's view of the economy could be summed up in a few short phrases: if it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. I hope we once again have reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.